Quickly to get the who'd win I missed out of the way. This one comes to us from, I think I get the first name right, Togia, or Toji, Godzilla, who asked the question, who would win a fight, Freddy Krueger versus the MCU version of Mysterio? I've done Freddy Krueger multiple times on the series, so real quick, Freddy Krueger was a child murderer and by all accounts a molester, as far as we know. I mean, that was never flat out said in the originals, but the remake very much said that he was a child molester. But he was killed by the parents who got their revenge, but he made a deal with dream demons and came back as a dream entity. So there's two ways we're going to have to look at this fight. If Freddy's brought into the real world versus if Freddy's brought into the real world versus if Freddy stays in the dream world. In the dream world, Freddy's power, he's pretty much a god. He can do whatever he wants, however he wants. He has pretty much complete control over the dream. Even if you're a lucid dreamer and can control your own dream, it really doesn't matter that much. His power does wane to some extent if you're able to overcome your fear of him. It's kind of a battle of wills, so to speak. But otherwise, you're pretty screwed. Because he'll just play off your fears. What he'll do, and then kill you. If you die in your sleep, you die in real life. That's the I think that isn't that the name of the tagline for the series, at least in the first one. I don't know. I know that's a line used. But if you bring him into the real world, Freddy does still have some power there. He's got some minor reality warping powers, but nothing like he couldn't just turn the sky into blood or anything like that. No, he can summon some fire. I believe he can still stretch his limbs to some degree. He can do his voice change. He's still pretty durable despite being just human. At that point, because he can be killed at that point, even though he keeps coming back. For instance, when he fought Jason, he, for all intent and purposes, had a human body. It's just the amount of he got a lot of concussive blunt force trauma put to him, sliced and diced, had his arm ripped off, was skewered by his own severed hand, and he was still alive. So Freddy is extremely durable. Well, actually, extremely difficult to beat in the dream world. Not impossible. And a lot easier to handle once you get him into the real world. With Mysterio is again, what's the... Quentin something... I can't remember his actual character name. Quentin... It's not Quentin Halfsburg, because that's a different character. That's Naked Gun 2.5. Wow, I'm actually going to look it up, because that's bothering me. I can't remember his name. Mysterio. There we go, Mysterio. Let's see, what was his name again? It was Quentin Beck. That was it, Quentin Beck. And I got that immediately as it changed. Like, it was Quentin Beck. Quentin Beck in the MCU was, no surprise, disgruntled Stark employee who had, who helped develop the BARF technology. Excuse me, I stripped my leg out. Who helped develop the BARF technology, jealous of Tony Stark, upset Tony Stark, if you've seen Homecoming, you know the whole stick. Mysterio's always been a illusionist. He has no actual powers, and that does not change here. He is still very much an illusionist. It's all done with holograms. There's no light and camera effects like smoke screens and all that. It's just it's like holograms, and a lot of them are pre-programmed, which means some of what he has to do has to be programmed already. Like that whole bit with Spider-Man, I don't know how much of that was already programmed, because remember, as holograms, it's not like he's projecting unless it's a really advanced thing, which it's possible, seeing as he developed the BARF technology. Actually, when I say that out loud, that actually makes sense why he was able to do that, because if he's already had basically to help develop the BARF technology, which you can alter using your memories, because it's really just all from your mind, then it makes sense that he would be able to create whatever he wants. So, yeah, it actually does make some sense when I say it out loud. And it makes some sense why he didn't just have to program. And obviously, some of it was programmed, like the elemental combos, him fighting individuals, that was all programmed. But still, it's understandable how he could do that. But he also, for this fight, we'll give him Edith. Edith, basically, even in death, I'm still the hero. Or I'm the hero, basically a world defense system. Why Tony gave it to Peter, I really don't know. Why he gave it to a 16-year-old kid, I can't imagine why. So he has control essentially more hologram inducing machines, but also they all have like military grade weaponry on them. So if these two met in a match, who would win? Well, it's a 50-50 match in the dream world, in the real world. In the dream world, Freddy's going to kick Mysterio's ass because there's nothing Mysterio can do that Freddy can't do. Like his illusionary tech doesn't matter in the dream world because a when you actually break it down, Quentin Beck was a bit of a coward. He was. He was not one of those villains who went into direct conflict with characters or fighters or anything like that. He wasn't a fighter. He was an illusionist. He was an illusionist for a reason. That was a weird emphasis. Illusionist. He was an illusionist for a reason. So if these two met, and Freddy would just mess with him and eventually kill him. That's whatever. Take it out of the dream world. Now we're in a different playing field. First off, I think he'd still creep back out. He would. So Freddy's like, "Oh, you think you're gonna win now, Beck? Because we're in the real world? Come on!" And then he's like, "I'm gonna slice you up." And then Freddy comes out, "Rah!" But it turns out that Quentin's an illusion. It's like, yeah, except now that we're in the real world, and all of a sudden multiple Mysterios come up. Yeah, you're playing on my field now. Now, like I said, Freddy does have some minor reality warping abilities in the real world. He's not without them, but he's not completely like devoid of abilities. It's just he's very much at a disadvantage now, especially because Quentin can pretty much do whatever he wants as long as he has, the mental imagery to create it. So at that point now, Freddy's just going to be fighting holograms the whole time. It's not like Freddy has like a super sense or anything like that, as far as we know. He's just, especially in the real world, he's just a disfigured guy with some knife hands with a little bit of power. Now, that being said, he'll be able to take quite a beating up until Quentin summons Edith and basically blows him to hell. So it's a 50-50 split. I mean, Mysterio. Now here's the catch. What if I don't give Mysterio Edith? What happens there? See, that's different because Mysterio really doesn't have any offensive capabilities as a character. Edith gives him offensive capabilities, but without Edith, it's not like there's much he can honestly do when you really break it down. Like maybe he could make Freddy kill or hurt himself or something like that. Ultimately, there actually isn't much he can do physically to Freddy if he doesn't have Edith. Eventually, Freddy, because he can warp reality on some minor levels in the real world, he would actually be able to. He might actually be able to kill Mysterio at that point. As long as he's able to, I don't know, set him on fire, or just do something that disrupts the illusion and just stab him. So if we're going best 2 out of 3, I'm gonna lean on the side of Freddy Krueger, but only because he might, mind you, be able to eke out a win. But honestly, that's a tough one to really kind of justify in that one. I'm not saying it's impossible by any stretch of the means, but when I think on that, like that's a tricky one. But I will actually give the minor edge of majority, best 2 out of 3 matches in different scenarios, to Freddy. I think I actually will go Freddy on that. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, though. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who would win: Star Wars, Magic, superhero magic. Yeah, let me try that again. And if you want to, if you like, wow, you can tell it's the end of the day and it's a Sunday. But if you want us to review something Magic, superhero, Star Wars, anything I do on the channel, put it in the comments below. Anyway, I digress. Sorry about that. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow because it's the week of What If, and I'll have a Who Would Win. Hopefully, I'll be a bit more coherent. Yeah, I really gotta learn to slow my roll. Sometimes I'm perfectly fine. Other times I start getting excited or just in a flow, and I just kind of start speeding through things. So yeah, I still need to learn to control that to some degree. Till then, thanks for watching. See you next time.